And good evening, and welcome back to another live stream courtesy of me, your host Swishball, for the remainder of the evening, live and exclusive to YouTube. For those of you who've been here before, well, you see me try to lose my mind as I've gone through the prize cards, grinding on this game, battling through likes of Shin Megami Tensei, Persona, Danganronpa, the weird streams like Doki Doki Literature Club, Manual Samuel, or the classic streams like Final Fantasy 7 and Forza 4. And for those of you who've not been here before, well, we like to play games blind mostly, but this is not really a blind play. This is me returning to a classic after more than 20 years away. We're doing prize cards only as much as we can, and we are slap bang in the middle of the Mazda RX-8 Championship. On the stream, I already got Queen in there jumping in saying, hey, hope I had a decent day. I did indeed. Hope you have too, Queen. How are you doing? And a nice couple of waves there from Joe as well. Good evening to the pair of you. So, we're going to carry on with the Mazda RX-8 Championship we started at the end of the last stream. So, yeah, let's get into it. We've got... I've already... I was doing the Club Re, wasn't I think? Yes, I was doing the Club Re. For some reason I thought, was it the RX-8 Championship? No, it's this one. Right, let's start with Autumn Ring. Let's get our eye in on the Autumn Ring circuit. We are in the Mazda RX-8 concept. Won in the license test. I'm interested to see what we get for beating this championship. See if we get anything decent. Okay, yep, it's the Autumn Ring, and it looks like it's the full course. 46 A-spec points, people. Oh, yes. The difficulty is there. On a circuit I can't stand. I really don't like this circuit. So this is going to be interesting, to say the least. Got a couple of classic RX-7s, as well as my Concept 8. Oh! I mean, what a stupid place to put a car on the racing line. I mean, come on. Did you think I wasn't going to drive there? What are you doing? Learn to drive, you pillar, come on. I'm in a big whacking Mazda RX-8, you should have seen me coming. And all that bad driver nonsense that I used to hear all the time in my day job before I went into international claims. Well, this car's certainly got the power, I'll give it that much. I'm catching up quite easily. Oh! It seems the AI are playing aggressive as well here. Turned right into the side of my car then. But you scratched the paint on my JDM car. What do you think you're doing? So for those of you out there, how you all getting on? You've been up to much today. Have you managed to beat the heat? Because here in the UK it's been our hottest day of the year this year, today. Right at the back end of the summer, the sun decides to finally come around. On the time I go back to work. It's always the way, isn't it? When you give yourself time off, it's absolutely dull. When you're in work, working like a dog for the boss man, it's absolutely gorgeous. No, it wasn't very nice of him, Queen. You're not wrong, but the thing is, I'm in the lead and he's not, so it's not a big deal. It's horrible where you are as well, Joe. How bad are we talking? Because I can hit the low 30s here, I think. We've got like 32, 31 degrees. That's in centigrade, by the way. I don't understand why there's no universal temperature. People use Fahrenheit, people use centigrade. Very strange. It's gross where you are as well, Queen. You spent most of your time inside, and to be honest, it's one of the better places for it. I went into a local grocery store tonight and it had aircon on full blast. It felt like I'd walked into a freezer. Absolutely lovely it was. It was gorgeous. And you can tell we're having an exciting stream here, people. We're talking about the weather. Oh yeah. Riveting entertainment for you all right here. Courtesy of Swish Streams. Ouch, nearly 40. I remember when I was over, it was pretty hot, to be fair. We had some right fun, didn't we, when it was there? Well, good evening to you, Avian, to see you saying hi, made it. Well, you have indeed. Welcome to the stream, how you doing? We're carrying on the Club RE tournament, and we're just about keeping it on the island there. Well, speaking of beating the heat, because it's so hot here today, I decided against having a coffee. So I broke out the final one of my weird sodas. That is a Sailor Saturn drink. And I don't know if you could see it on the side, but she got the flavour grapefruit. Let's see how it tastes. That is actually pretty nice. It has a really nice initial bitterness and then gets really sweet. So you kind of like, it affects both sides of the taste buds. And it actually feels very refreshing in this warm weather. Just to make sure it's not a fluke. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I finally found a decent one, people. I finally found one. So over here in the UK, the weather is the biggest conversation in the world. We're obsessed with it. I don't know why, because it's always shit over there. The weather in the UK is always shit, so I don't know why. Maybe that's why we talk about it. We just like to shit talk. That makes sense, actually. Right, okay. Time for the worst track in the game. Opera Paris. Although, to be fair, considering that I managed the 1,000 miles 94 lap race here in the Jag, I've kind of got a new appreciation for it. They say it does taste a little more normal, Queen, but it's not quite as normal. It's definitely not as sweet as most sodas. It's very refreshing. Certainly better than what Jupiter was shafted with. Jupiter got done dirty by these line of drinks. Her flavour was horrible. Wasn't it, Avian? Actually, no, you loved it. It was your favourite drink. Yes, Exeter, absolutely true. Rains in the UK. Ah, shit. Here we go again. Absolutely correct. Good evening, sir. Welcome to you. How are you doing? Get off my racing line. I said get off my racing line. Get off my racing line. Get off my racing line. I was there first. It's mine. I bought it first. Get back in line. These guys are driving as aggressive as Carlos Sainz did in the Monza Grand Prix. Awesome to hear that you're good there, Exeter. That's fantastic. Yes, the cucumber to sea salt to the unspeakable drink, definitely. That sea salt flavoured drink that Terry Bogard presents, geez, dear Lord, that was horrid. That was one of the rankest things I've ever tasted. It was nasty. Oh, that felt good. That felt like really good grip in that corner, though. I've only got this lap to pass him. I've got to try and do last little late breakers here. Up the inside. Not bad. Just ran out of room. So close. Yeah, you see, he's definitely got the traction, he's got the acceleration, but I've got the draft. Oh God. Oh no, Exeter. Who will I have ice cream with? I've seen that clip, it's so memed. Oh my God. Yes, the sea salt drink is definitely the kind of thing you should do as a prank on your friends. Like, get like a false label to hide it and give it to them and say, here, I got you a drink, just to see what happens. The Gillette Vertigo is a strange car from what I understand, Joe. You say it's dead understeer, but also has completely incorrect specs from what I understand. Really weird car. Yeah, that. So far, the one that's actually a decent drink is Sailor Saturn. Sailor Saturn's probably the best one. Which is annoying because she's not one of the inner scouts. So we've got one more race in this tournament, then I've got to go fishing for another event to do, because we're at that point now where all the ones after this we'll have to start buying cars for, which I don't mind doing, don't get me wrong, but I want to see just how much I could do with prize cars only. And I'm struggling to find events after this. She's the Time Lord Scout. It's one way of putting it. Oh, we've only got a single lap of Suzuka. That's interesting, but we should have a grid start at least. Oh no! Oh, that is nasty, exit tail. Oh, that is harsh. That is so evil. It's also genius, but it's evil. Oh no! I bet you were fishing for some revenge after that, and I wouldn't blame you. I mean, don't get me wrong. Salt can be quite tasty, but when you're expecting candy and you bite into that, it's pretty rank to say the least. It's like years ago, I don't know if the site still exists, but there was a site called iwantoneofthose.com, and essentially it sold like unusual, nerdy, geeky collectible stuff. And one of them was a game of Russian roulette, and essentially it cost you £10, so we're talking about $15, and it was a wheel that had 8 chocolates on it that was shaped like chilies, and 7 of them were just chocolate. But one of them was a chocolate-coated Naga chili. So we're talking a million Scoville chili. And you bite into it, and you don't see it coming. Whoever gets that one loses. And it's mean as hell. I've never actually seen one officially in the wild. I've always wanted one just for a laugh. But yeah, the kind of party trick that will not make you popular, to say the least. Well, maybe I've given you a revenge prank idea there for that one, Exertail. Make some really nice lush chocolates, and make sure one of them's secretly like a Naga chili or a Carolina Reaper or a ghost pepper or a chocolate butler. Actually, that's even better. That's more appropriate. Make a lot of really nice ones, and then go, do you want one? Make sure it's that one that they get. See, I can be evil as well, people. Oh yeah. Because I can. I must say, Avian, your idea sounds pretty nasty too. It's a clever idea. So the question is, here we go, congratulations, we have got the Mazda 1110S67. I mean, it's pretty. That's all I can really say about it. It's a pretty car, but it's not exactly setting the world ablaze. Never mind, it's not bad, it's okay. Yeah, we don't have an MX-5 or a Miata. Right, I'm trying to see what other tournaments I can do. Ooh, toothpaste. Nasty. Like it. For that one, we have to buy a car. Now, the question is, can I actually buy it? Because if I can... Yes, I can. Right, this is a one-make event. And we're going to do it. I'm going to do an event, right? All of you are going to hate it. All of you are going to hate this. I'm going to try souping this car up. I don't think I'll be able to do much to it. It's a car from the 1960s. I can give it a racing exhaust to give it no extra horsepower. Look at that, it doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. Let's see if I can give it a turbo. Believe it or not, I can. I can give it a turbo to go to 41 horsepower. Let's do it. Let's more than double our horsepower. Can I do anything else to the car? I can actually naturally aspirate it, believe it or not, as well. But let's give it a port polish. Right, get ready, people. This is a race that's going to bore you all to death. We're going to do it. Now, so you've been reading petty revenge stories, Avian. I do like petty revenge. Like, I remember my university, there was a student who refused to pay tuition fees. They felt that they were a criminal imposition that was reinforcing elitism in education. And after about 6 months of refusing to pay them, they'd finally decided to pay their tuition fees. We're talking, this was back in the early 2000s, so I think it was £3,000 per year at the time. It's now £9,000, but it was £3,000 at the time. They paid in 1 and 2 pence coins. So essentially, they nickeled and dimed. They literally walked in with a massive tray of coins and went, doosh, there's your tuition fees, and walked out. Oh god, we got a 3-lap race. Ugh. Right, be ready for pain, people. Be ready for pain. This is going to suck. Yes, that's the car we're in, people. Watch and wait for this. Listen to the sound of those engines. Zzz. Yes, talk amongst yourselves, people. You're going to need to. Yeah. Now we're at the pinnacle of racing, aren't we, people? Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the heady days of the 1886 Benz Motorwagen. Yeah. Slow as the new fast, baby. So we're going to take him here up the inside. Yes. Look at the state of this. This is just pathetic. I'm not even having to brake, by the way. I'm having to do tiny little releases of the throttle. The race to end all races. Yes, Avian. We're leaving Formula 1 cars for dead. We are leaving the Le Mans prototypes in the dust. They don't know what they're doing with top speed at 50 miles an hour. Yes. Oh, yeah. And we've got 3 laps of this, by the way, people. Get comfortable. We're hugging the racing line there, using the apex. Even using the rumble strip. I'm not determined. We opened up 4 seconds on the second place. And the problem is I can't go any faster. The throttle is literally to the floor. God, listen to that engine. Doesn't it sound pathetic? Yes, Queen, we are in position 1. You can see it on the top left of the screen. We are winning the race. We are in first. My upgrades to this beast of a car has enabled us to do this. So, because this has been such a breeze, I'm going to buy another car for one of the most difficult races you can do in this game. That's right. We're doing the Opel Speedster Cup next. It sounds like a lawnmower on its last legs. You're not wrong, it sounds terrible. It's just conking out every 2 seconds. So I'm even able to race it in chase cam, which I normally can't do because I can't see the apexes. But I don't need to in this game. I don't need to see the racing line. This is painful. You can hear the air horns from the fans. They're doing it out of pity. They're like, what did you do to suffer to get this as your championship? Bear in mind, I'm the Gran Turismo World Champion, and this is what they've got me doing. I don't think we're in any danger of running out of fuel or tyres here, are we, people? I think we're well and truly in the clear. The drivers hidden behind a veil of black because they are so ashamed of being seen driving this car. They don't want to be here. Now you don't see the tyre gauge because unfortunately my camera is in the way of it. But there definitely is a tyre gauge there, and they're in blues. They weren't even close to green. Good evening, Harrison Jack. Just seen you jump into the chat there. How you doing, mate? Welcome to the stream. You just missed one of the slowest and most annoying races ever. I spent loads of money to enter that race. And the prize I'm going to get is going to be rubbish. I'm going to get a terrible prize, I know full well. Congratulations, you've won a carbon copy of the same car that you've just raced. Woo. You had to buy it to win it. What is the point of that? What is the point? Good thing is, we've done it. So the question now is, what's our current completion? We are currently at 55.5%. We're all the fives, people. We're all the fives. I'm going to say the colour's lovely. The colour's really nice. I'll give it that, Joe, yes. So, I know that we're meant to be doing this more prize cars basis, but we are actually going to buy a car here. We are going to buy the Opel Speedster. Now, before I do it, is the Speedster Turbo one of the cars I can enter in? Yes, you can. You can enter in the Turbo. Great. Okay. Oh, no, I didn't want the Classics. That was a mistake. Didn't want that. We're going to take on the Opel Speedster Turbo event. Now, here are the colours. We have Le Mans Green. It's called Petrol, but it's turquoise. It's basically cyan. Then we've got a really nice turquoise, dark blue, a purple blue, a horrible colour there, which is badly two-toned, silver, more like grey than silver, Safish Schwarz, whatever the hell that means, Calypso Rot, you mean red, Mandarin or orange, and Brilliant Gold. But I'll be honest, the colour I like most is this one. So I'm going to buy it. Now we are going to need to tune this up. This race, I understand, is incredibly difficult, even if you have a fully souped up car. So this is going to be a very, very, very challenging race. So we're going to get everything equipped. We're going to spend a load of money. And then we're going to take on one of the toughest events in Gran Turismo 4. Probably only beaten by the especially wonderfully brilliant Mission 34. Oh yeah. We loved that, didn't we, people? Now, before I do anything else to the car, there's something I need to do. Back at the home, I just need to make a test of this. We currently have 220 horsepower. Let's go and change the oil. It's not the track, Jack. It's the opposition. I saw a video by Ruffle Waffle, that's his name, and he was talking about how nostalgia can bias you when it comes to racing games. Didn't quite agree with all of it, to be honest, but he did say that GT4 has its problems and singled out this race, this tournament, because it's apparently incredibly difficult. The Peugeot 206 Cup, I've not tried that one, and I don't. Can I do it? I've got a rally car, and I've got a 205 rally car. Unless have I already beaten it, the 206? No, I did the front, didn't I? I know that you can get one of the rally cars. You can buy the rally car and cheese it. I understand. You can do it by cheesing it using the rally car if you got the money. Which I do. So let's tune this baby up then. We were at 265 horsepower, we've now got more. So let's get the port polish done. I say maybe I'll have to tune up my Peugeot 206 and give it a shot then. I'll have to do that and see how hard that is. Put a racing chip in there, and then after this we're going to need to put a stage 4 turbo. We're going to have to go all out attack here, people, because this is a very, very, very hard event. So it's one that's a bit of a money pit. What the Grand Ultimate car is, Jack, there's that many choices you could use because they all have things that make them better than the other at certain places. In terms of, like, probably the all-round greatest car in the game, you're talking the Le Mans prototype cars. We're talking the likes of the Toyota Minolta. We're talking the likes of the Bentley Speed 8. We're talking the likes of the Nissan R89 or R92. The Toyota GT1 still quite a good car from what I understand. The PlayStation Pescarolo Judd, that's a great car. It depends on what you're using it for, essentially. In terms of the road cars, my favourite is still the Nissan R34 GTR Skyline. Infinitely tunable, adaptable for almost any event, can use it anywhere. Beautiful car. If I won the lottery, that would be my car that I had on my driveway. I would have an R34 Nissan Skyline. Right, we're getting racing tyres for this. We're going to put racing mediums on. Purely because I'm expecting it to be tyre wear. So I don't want to have anything more than mediums. And now, do we take the weight down? Do we really go all out attack? Let's get it less than a ton. Let's make our machine into a Formula 1 racer. Let's strip out all the weight. A car that's got almost nothing in it in the first place, we're going to have even less in it. We're making a touring car spec version of a car which is actually brilliant. In Metropolis Street Racer, this car was awesome fun to drive. Oh, go on, what was wrong with your GT1 now, Joe? Did you take all the downforce off to do the 400 mile an hour trick? Or something? Ah, the weight balance. It's a 5-car event. There's 5 races. We have Grand Valley Speedway, Auto Ring, Suzuka, Sears Point, and Seattle. So a good mix of races. Let's start at Grand Valley Speedway, the iconic Gran Turismo circuit. And as you can see, there's almost nothing between us and cars. See, nearly 200 points of A-Spec despite all the upgrades. How has a car which has got nearly maximum upgrades equipped possibly got more in the way of A-Spec challenge points than any other? The answer is because the computer can make their car faster than yours. So here we go. It's what Matt J called false difficulty. Still grips like an absolute beast, this car. Tell you what, this is a fantastic car to drive. This feels like a proper racer. This is awesome. Wear a Luigi suit to collect the lottery money and then buy a house and save for the future. That is an awesome idea, Exeter. One of my ideas, if I ever won the lottery, like I won the jackpot, what I'd do is I'd deliberately, I'd basically do my weekend as normal, and then the Monday at work, what I'd do is I'd arrive deliberately about 3.5 hours late. I wouldn't answer my phone or anything. I'd arrive in a limo, walk upstairs, throw a load of money into the air, and in the middle of the money would be a note that simply says, "I quit," and walk out. That's what I'd do. It'd basically me paying the company my salary before I leave. Well, on this circuit, my car is absolutely dominant. But I could have done with a better gearbox because I'm topping out. That might explain why I was able to get in front, because my car's more settled for acceleration, but it's not a bad thing, to be honest, because aside from that long straight, there's not really anywhere to catching up. So apart from maybe Seattle I'm going to need to change the gearbox a little bit, I think. Seattle, maybe Suzuka. That's probably about it, to be honest. Yeah, good idea, Avian. Buy a house, buy it outright, no mortgage. Just say, this is mine, I own it, deal with it. So over here in the UK, one of the prizes you can win is actually a really rather awesome one called Set for Life, where basically you win 10 grand a month for 30 years. That's actually awesome, because when you think about it, you can easily set yourself a budget of £2,000 and then save 8 grand a month. So you're talking 100 grand a year pretty much. You'd be able to pay off your mortgage, pay off your house and all that kind of stuff, and then the next thing you'd be done is you'd be able to just live free for the rest of your life. It'd be brilliant. Yes, Arista Jack, the person you're talking about, gentleman from the UK, won the lottery, bought a mansion, and then paid to have like a destruction derby track built in the back of it and everything, and he blew all his money in like less than 2 years, and was actually seen begging for money outside the job centre at one point. It just shows, just because you've got a lot of money immediately, people see the number, the zeros, and don't realise how easy it is to spend it. The former basketball legend himself, Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq to everyone, told a great story on the YouTube channel, Hot Ones. Did an interview, and the host, Sean Evans, basically asked him, is it true that he once spent $1 million in a day? And Shaq said, yeah, it's true. And what happened was, he basically went to a Mercedes dealership and bought himself a nice Mercedes. He'd got like $1 million sponsorship deal of some kind. Went in, they all knew his name. He said, yeah, I've had this deal, the sponsorship's come through, blah, blah, blah. Paid something like $115,000 for a nice new Mercedes and drove it home. So, of course, his family commented on the car he bought. And the guy went, well, I'll tell you what, I'll go and buy you one. So he bought his mum and his dad one. And then he bought his friend one. And he bought his friend one. And eventually, he got a call from the bank. And he just said, you do realise, sir, you're $1 million in the hole. And he's like, what do you mean $1 million in the hole? I got back sponsorship deal today. And he went, yeah, but you've not been paid $1 million. It's not there to spend. So you're $1 million down. And it was at that point that he realised he had to basically get a proper financial consultant to manage his finances better. And it was a very easy near miss for him, because it turned out to be pocket change in the end. But the fact of the matter is, he started in a very bad way, and unlike the guy from the lottery, actually had someone to help pull him back. So it shows, just because you come into a lot of cash, don't spend it like it's water. It's very easily acquired, and it's even easier to lose it. Well, yeah, so that was a surprisingly easy one. If the rest of the tournament's like that, I don't know why everyone thinks this is so hard. I get the feeling there's going to be some races in this that are going to be absolutely brutal. So the question is, which ones are they? Exeter, that wouldn't surprise me, yeah. In fact, I think if it's the case I'm thinking of, not only did she blow all the money, but then she tried to sue the runners of the National Lottery here in the UK, Camelot, to say that essentially they should have given her a lot more safeguards and financial management and everything else. And as you say, the lottery has now been changed to 18 as part of it. But it's like, the thing is, like, people don't realise, if you come into a lot of money, you don't realise how easy it is to lose it. Meanwhile, good evening, Rose Dragon, to see you jump into the chat there. How are you doing? We're currently doing the Opel Speedster tournament, and I've already been handicapped because the computer drove off the track in the final corner. Cost me at least a second. But we've got 4 laps of Autumn Ring to try and catch up. This is apparently one of the hardest tournaments in the game. The thing is, Aristide, we started talking about the lottery because I mentioned what I'd do if I won it, and then you've all come in with great banter. And again, that's the great thing about live streams, really. You can have a live stream and chat about anything. As long as the audience are being engaged and everyone's having fun, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to just ask questions about the game, as long as you don't do anything too personal. You have to buy me dinner at least once before you can do that. I was very late on the brakes then, but I couldn't get on the right line thanks to that car. No worries, Queen. If you got to get back to the floor, you enjoy the rest of your shift as best you can. I'll catch you later. Now, if anyone's wondering why this car is so easy to drive, it's because it was actually secretly engineered by Lotus. Many people even called it a budget Lotus Elise. Great car. Known over here in the UK as the Vauxhall VX220, as in 220 horsepower, but known everywhere else in the world as the Opel Speedster. Great machine. I mean, I say, when you win millions, and it doesn't matter how old you are, when you're young, you're more likely to spend it in silly ways, because ultimately, people start offering you, because I think part of the problem wasn't just because of the fact that she had the money and spent it. It's because a lot of places were offering higher purchase credit. And when you get told, you can walk into a shop like a designer place, we'll give you £250,000 of store credit. Well, credit's going to have to be paid back. And if you're dangled that carrot and you've not had anyone to tell you what the terms are, you can find yourself being suckered into huge interest, which saps your money even more. I remember hearing a story years ago about how people essentially were getting jobs working for what's known as debt management firms here in the UK, where you basically ring up a debtor and start saying you owe X amount of pounds, can we start looking into a payment plan to avoid enforcement action? And one of the people was apparently having a lot of chasers for Premier League footballers. People paid £150,000 a week being chased by debt management firms. The reason? They were all going into special clubs and like buying absolutely ridiculous amounts of vintage champagne and like girls and casino nights, racking up hundreds of thousands in credit and then getting it passed on to debt management firms. That's actually true. You see, my streams, you learn so much about the world, don't you? It's almost like you're talking to someone who knows what they're talking about. And as for wait to buy dinner for what, Rose Dragon, basically saying don't ask anything too personal. You have to buy me dinner at least once. It's an old joke. Not a very funny one, but mine never are. Yeah, it's the best way to be, Xtail. Know your limits, make sure you can pay it back. There's a phrase which has unfortunately become quite derogatory, known as live within your means. And people use it in a derogatory way to say, oh, well, you've racked up all this credit, you brought it on yourself. No, to live within your means is actually a very good mantra in life. It's just that it's been usurped and turned into a toxic term online, and it really annoys me. Well, Rose, sounds like a plan to me. As you say, it's interesting, Nextel, like, you say what can people spend the money on? Well, I just told you. They literally want to be known as, like, in the storylines, and they'll spend money on cars. I used to live in Stockport, just south of Manchester, and there's almost nothing there in town. And one day, me and my friend decided to explore the place, just to see if we could find some decent bars and take it out. And we ended upon, of all places, a Lamborghini garage. As in a Lamborghini showroom. They had Lamborghini Diablos, they had Lamborghini Murcielagos, they had a Bentley Continental GT. At one point they even had a Bugatti Veyron in there, and I'm thinking, why on earth is that on sale in Stockport? Who's going to be buying it here? And then, of course, I remembered that the next town on from Stockport is Wilmslow, where all the Premiership footballers and TV celebrities live. And it's things like that they spend the money on. Oh, I'll buy myself a new supercar. Like Cristiano Ronaldo wrote off a Ferrari 599 underneath Manchester Airport in an airport driving tunnel. Wrote it off. Car was worth about £300,000. Got a full payout from the insurers. When it went on the salvage website, it sold for $1 million because he'd owned the car. It was scrap and it sold for $1 million. So go figure. People are easily spending cash on strange things. Well, never use phrases like whatever you like. People take advantage of that, Rose Dragon. I've seen that before. It's my round. It's my round. What can I get you? Oh, you can get me a double, and then mention some like extremely expensive whiskey that costs like £18 a shot. I once was in York, and there's a bar called the Winning Post near the racecourse, and it sold a form of cognac at £130 in 2003, mind, at £130 per shot. 130 notes a shot. So 25 millilitres of alcohol, £130. Here we go at Suzuka Circuit, and we're breezing on so far, which is awesome. Oh, it's the short circuit, we're not doing the full course. That's interesting. Wonder why we're only doing the short circuit. Never take an offer in Japan. It depends on where you are, actually, Rose. If you're in a place in Tokyo called Roppongi, definitely don't. Roppongi, for those of you who don't know, is a district of Tokyo which is basically part of Shibuya. And during the day, it's fine. Tokyo Tower's there, really nice place to go and visit during the day. But by night, it basically becomes their version of Ibiza. And it's very much a foreigner's nightclub town. Now, I'd heard all the horror stories, so never went myself. But one of my friends, this is back in 2010, mind, one of my friends said they wanted to see it, and I went, well, okay, fine, but if you have any problems, leave. I'm going to be here, we can go to Akihabara or something instead. Anyway, fast forward a few hours, they come back and we go out. And while we're in this bar, they tell me the story. Essentially, they're in the centre of Roppongi, and these guys come up to them and go, yeah, I own this nightclub just down here, it's just down the way. As I say, it's free to get in, so if there's any issues, you're not happy about it, don't worry about it, you can just turn around and go out wherever you like. It's free to get in, come on, follow us. And my mate just replies, hang on, how much is it to get out? And both of these gentlemen turned tail and walked away, purely because they asked how much did it cost to get out, not get in, get out. Very simple trap to fall into. If someone tells you something's free to get into, ask them how much it costs to get out first. Because when you're on the other side of the world and you've got limited understanding of the language and you've got very little limited understanding of the law, good luck proving your case. I say there's a famous nightclub in Tokyo, or at least there was, I don't know if it's still there now, called Gas Panic, and they had a policy where if you didn't have a drink in your hand, you would be told to leave. If you had an empty glass, you'd get kicked out. You had to always keep on topping up. That was their policy. Because then you get more drunk, and you order more drinks, and you spend more money. So yes, Japan's a lovely place, but some of their nightlife spots are notoriously shady. It wouldn't surprise... I've not actually been to a hostess club, but it wouldn't surprise me at all that Avian... not Avian, sorry, Exeter even. I've got the corner of my eye, so I read the wrong name, apologies. It wouldn't surprise me, because ultimately it's all about the experience. It's all about trying to make you spend as much as you can, being treated like a prince or a king or princess, whatever title you want to use, and essentially just make it so that they can just like cream cash out of you. Well, you say they're not too fond of foreign people, Rose, but that's because the likelihood is they're probably run by the Yakuza, much like a lot of their pachinko parlours are. If you try going into a pachinko parlour as a foreigner, you'll probably get turned away, because they don't want you there. It's as simple as that. But you don't want to go into pachinko parlours anyway, because that is extremely rigged gambling. And yet you still got companies like Konami making Silent Hill bleeding pachinko machines. Hit the lever. No, get us a proper Silent Hill. Put your pachinko machine away. I want to fight Pyramid Head, not to roll three of him on a slot machine. This is going to be a very hard race to win. This circuit is notoriously difficult to pass on. See, I almost got shunted onto the grass then, mid-overtake. The good thing is I've got high acceleration, which is keeping me in touch with them. Well, I mean, the clubs for foreigners are mostly gangster-owned because they want to try and get as much money as they can out of them. Usually, the only people that go there are those who want to try and basically pull. That's the reason they go there. I did well to keep that on the island then, because I hit the grass and started spinning sideways. Oh, that was poor. That was sloppy. Oh, bugger, I screwed that up. Oh well, try and turn it to my advantage. I'm liking this. This is good. That's fine, mate. You go off the circuit. I'm okay with that. Oops, sorry mate. Actually, no I'm not. I'm not sorry at all. Get back in the loser lane where you belong. So is this race series difficult? No, not if you use the opposition as a way to brake your car, you don't. Use your opposition to brake instead of your brakes, you'll be fine. I'm not sure about owning the police, Exeter, but I do know that they are one of the most corporate, crime syndicates in the world. So they usually have, unofficial control via protection rings and everything else, from what I understand. They're notorious businessmen who are very loyal to the country. And in many ways, they're almost like unofficial bouncers. Quite a lot of them, most of the time you wouldn't even know they were there, to be honest. Unless you happen to see a black Mercedes with blacked out windows, then you're more than likely passing by one of the Yakuza. They're just they're all about business more than anything else. Apparently during the big earthquake in 2011, they actually even got involved in the charity efforts and distributing water and everything. So, I mean, I'm not going to condone them because I don't know what they do, but they seem a bit more corporate from what I understand compared to, for example, in Shibuya and Harajuku, there's actually some Nigerian gangs who run their area, and they're notoriously nasty. You see them always selling shoes. So if you see people trying to flog shoes at you in those places, try and run a mile. Don't go near them. Or at least they were when I was there. I've not been since 2015, so things might have changed. Well, I mean, to be fair, karaoke bars are very popular in Japan. It's to the point that if you work for a company, a lot of the time the boss can say after work, right, we're going karaoke, and you have to go. If you don't go, you're causing great insults to the company. Very much that kind of culture, so you can find yourself at those events even if you don't want to. What's the computer doing here? Oh, we've just been punted. And again, just for good measure. The AI in this game are notoriously brutal. They do not stop. Okay, so the final one is Seattle. We're going to Murica. Guy Bowser? What, are they a fan of Final Fight and Mario with that name? Yeah, I need to do a couple of clicks to the right for my gears here. My gearbox is slightly too short. It's quite a lot of long straights here in Seattle, so I need a bit more horsepower. And we're going the clockwise route, we're going the correct way, so that's cool. Yeah, that's right. We're going 1970s bullet here by the looks of it. Cheers to the brake assist, dude. Oh yeah, this is fun. This is a really fun event, actually. That. Yes. And I know it's memeable, the fact that I have that wording over my thing all the time. There's not much I can do about it. The Get Ready to Drive is here to stay. Well, I wouldn't say they're a welcome organisation, Exeter. It's just they'll leave you alone as long as you stay away from them. They just don't want anything to do with people outside Japan, to my knowledge. So as long as you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. So yeah, don't get involved in crime, kids. That's the main message we can take away here tonight. Oh wow, those guys are terrible at that hairpin. I get so much better exit speed than them. I don't know why they were so poor at that hairpin. Whoa, but they're better on the hill. They have so much better control on the hill. Unfortunately for them, I'm better through that corner because I shoved them into the wall. Yes, okay, it's cheating. No, I don't care. I personally don't think that any crime syndicate is going to be welcoming. If crime syndicates are welcoming, it's because they want to try and exploit and manipulate people. So if you ever find yourself being approached by a criminal organisation, just do what you can to stay away from them. Sadly, too many kids fall to gang culture because of that over here in the UK. It's why knife crimes are at an all-time high. This has taken a turn, hasn't it? The conversation tonight. It's taken a bit of a turn, this. My streams always do. We always seem to take a hard right somewhere, don't we? Nope, that was poor. That was sloppy driving, that. Well, I mean, this was hyped up to be the most difficult challenge, and it's not. Is it because I've got all up? The thing is, like, my car was almost maximum like A-spec points, which means the car is like pretty much slower than every other car on the field, apparently, and I've absolutely dominated. I've barely broken sweat. Am I a god Gran Turismo driver? No, hell no. Not even close. I just don't understand the fuss. Why is this seen as such a hard event? Nice little drift there because I can. And over the finish line. There we go, people. It's done. It's in the can. So we're going to get ourselves hopefully a nice prize car for this. We've got a load of A-Spec points, which is always good. It's got us nearly 1,000 extra A-Spec points. Ah, very nice. The Opel Calibra touring car. Very nicely rendered. Not sure I'll use it because I've already done the DTM tournament and I've already done the endurance race that's kind of like DTM focused. But it's still a nice machine. So let's get the game saved. We have done the Speedster tournament. Yes, now we're 56.3% complete. Now the question is, are we at the point now where we can actually find the rare cars? Doesn't look like it. No, they've not yet turned up. Okay, no worries. There's like some rare cars that I want to get. I'm not sure actually on that one, Joe. I don't know if it was any good in real life, the Calibra touring car. I'm not entirely sure. It's a good question, that. It's a really good one. Right, well, since we've done one of the hardest ones... Ah, so it's 694. Right, so we're 30 days clear. Okay. Let's finish souping up the Peugeot 206, and then we will take on the one make event. So let's soup this baby up. Well, Rose Day, I hope everything's okay. I can't obviously comment on what's made you decide to do that. So fingers crossed everything's alright. I thought I'd selected equip them then, but obviously I hadn't. Right, okay, we've got a natural aspiration. Oh, but we can choose to turbocharge it. That goes to 293. Whereas naturally aspirated gets us to 258. It's a difficult choice, this. I think turbo's going to be a better option. So we'll turbocharge it. Right, okay, so I'm sorry that's happened there, Dragon. I can't say any more because obviously I don't want to, you know, make things awkward and put any personal stuff out on the net. And that goes out to everyone out there, really. Oh, boo. I'm going to have to manually equip that now. Damn it. My mistake, my fault. No one to blame but me. It's still hot here tonight. I'm surprised. I'm surprised at how warm it is. I'm going to be back in the office tomorrow where there'll be some nice air conditioning. Scant reward considering how early I've got to go into the office tomorrow. But hey ho, it's got to be done. Speaking of things that have got to be done, after this week, depending on how much the progress is going to be on Monday night, I might be sticking with Wild Arms 2 to completion, because I got the feeling we're quite near the end of that game. So it might be one that I can chalk off, and that'll be free some time to get back to SMT4. But I'm still going to do SMT4 on the Friday. As for what time is early, Dragon, I will be setting off at 5 to 6 in the morning. So I'll be up at 5 AM. It's not ridiculously early compared to some people's shifts, I'll be honest, but it's early enough. Especially when you've been streaming the night before. Especially when I'd been in the office today as well, so not much in the way of kit. But with the heat, I've not been sleeping much anyway, so I'm not missing out, to be perfectly honest. Ah, you're in the office as well, are you, tomorrow, Avian? Good old community transport to get you to the office, eh? Not much fun. Yeah, I've heard of some getting up that early before on that one, Rose, but it's not something I've done. Yep, so you can see that the Peugeot 206 rally car. If that shows up as an opponent, I'm screwed. But we will give it a try. We are in the 206 Cup. Hopefully, this can get us a decent prize car. So I actually really like my job. My job's great. It's just that getting into the office is a nuisance. And I've got to go into the office. In fact, it's some point soon I'm going to be in for the whole week, which is not going to be fun. Where's my computer chip? There it is. Extra horsepower, go brrr. Yeah, say if you want Rose as the name, I'll use that instead. It doesn't matter to me. Rose, 176 A-spec points. Interesting. Okay. So that suggests my car's going to be underpowered here. Oh, feel the horrendous understeer in this car. Oh, this understeer's like an absolute pig. Have I got sports tyres on? I wonder. Because if I have, that's going to really screw me over. Oh, God, this is appalling. Yeah, this is much harder than the Opel Speedster tournament. Much, much harder. Oh, God, I've seen less understeer on an oil tanker. Have you seen how big their turning circle is? Good Lord, this is horrendous. Right, I'm gonna have to change my tyres. See if I can sort it out. Something's wrong there. There was no way that's natural. And that will be my fault. I will re-equip them. Winning on sports soft tyres, not likely. Not in this tournament. You've seen the kind of cars they've got. We need sticky tyres. Yeah, I must have equipped them for another event. So the tyres which are not slicks in this game are really, really poor to drive on. They are so, so difficult. Well, that's taken me to the 190. That's increased. That's actually increased the difficulty by putting racing tyres on? How? How has that increased the difficulty? Oh, what the hell? I got torque still and the car started spinning out. Tyres are indeed the most important aspect of a racing car. Go back to watch the 2009 Indianapolis. I know what I've done. I was going to say, why would that increase the difficulty? I now know why. I've chose the wrong tyres again. I've definitely got racing mediums equipped. I saw them when I went into the showroom. There was medium tyres there. Let's try that again. This time I'm going to make sure I choose the right tyres. I'm sure they were racing mediums. Aha! Right. Now let's see a difference. I was going to say, why would racing mediums make it more difficult? That makes no sense. That's much better. This pulls down to 118 points now. Right. Take 3. We've already had 2 fails. Now that's much more like it. Now I'm keeping up. Oh, but I've been punted off. They're annoyed at the fact that I kept up with them. Sucks bit to you, but if you're going to rub me into the wall, I'm going to punt you into it. So the problem with this car is it's front engine, front wheel drive. They are not fun to drive. Front cars are not fun because they understeer to hell or they lose control under the weight distribution. So there's a reason why a lot of people use mid-engined rear-wheel drive or four-wheel drive in this game. And yes, at least there's no penalties. That's true, Rose. Very true. I'd rather that we lost that. No penalties is very much a good thing. I'm going to take him here. Oh. Right, how did they find the grip to go around that corner then at that speed? They shouldn't have been able to do that. I was on racing tyres. So unless they were on racing softs, that's not possible. Because they didn't brake for that corner. And that is actually not possible. So for that reason, I'm going to make an impossible overtake by putting you into the wall. Simple as that. Some of the classic cars are awesome actually. The 205 was a great car. The Peugeot 205. That was a great machine. The Peugeot 205 was superb. One of the few. I'm not a massive Peugeot fan. And I'm certainly not a fan of Renault. The Renault Clio 16 valve, which apparently was the star car of so many bleeding racing games in this era for no reason. Yes, it is dirty driving, Rose. You're quite correct. Guess what? They earned it by driving impossible lines. Yeah, see, the car just seems to lose, like, steering halfway through the corner. I'm at a complete loss as to why. Which is irritating. Right, that made things a bit better, so that's good news. The question is, can I catch first place? Oh, wow, the brakes are better than I thought. And that's part of the problem. The braking zones aren't as easy to predict in this car. It's not glitched, it's just the way the game's got. Basically, a lot of the opponents in this race and the Opel Speedster, they have access to car mods that you can't equip as a player, so they have more power. Matt J proved it when he did an analysis of the games. It also doesn't help that if they get stuck on the outside line and you hit them, they won't move, whereas you will. Oh yeah, the hood is good. It's emulated, so the hood isn't perfect because it's not a native copy of the game. And no, a remaster of this game won't be happening. Polyphony Digital will not put out a remake of this game. Can't get the license for half the cars for one thing. Yeah, I might have to restart this race. I'm going to have to restart it. Ah, yes, the GT40 and the GT2 Cup. We know all about that one. Yeah, unfortunately, too many issues got in the way on that run. I'd say if this carries on, I'll just go out and buy the rally car and cheese it. Not a big deal. I'll just cheese it using the Peugeot 206 rally car. Cost me $250,000 credits, but me, who cares? I can afford it. You see, it doesn't help when they do that. He actually literally punted me off. So for that reason, I'm going to do the same. That's revenge. You're going to punt me off, I'll punt you off. Yeah, I think the reason that car was stuck in a wall was because I punted it there, Joe. So this one's much harder than the Opel Speedster tournament. The Opel Speedster tournament I cheesed. Absolutely brutalised it. This one, much harder. Before the start. Yeah, I've seen that happen a couple of times, unfortunately. It's weird. So I'm pretty sure there was a glitch with Le Mans 2 Endurance where if you tried using B-Spec Bob, a lot of the time he'd stop on the Mulsanne straight for no reason. There's quite a lot of unfinished content in GT1 and GT2 actually. In GT2 there was a cut drag strip that no one could find, purely because of the fact you had the HKS drag racing cars, the 240SX and the GTR 33 Skyline. But there was also in the data the Toyota Celica HKS drag car too. But apart from the test course there was nowhere to use them because they couldn't turn corners. They were completely useless. They were fun cars to drive. They had like 1,000 horsepower and they went absolutely like stink. But getting them to turn any corner, even on the test course, was impossible. I miss cars like that. I'd like to see those kind of cars come back. Say, the cut content of all games I always find fascinating because of stuff that gets turned up that no one knew about, or things that were known but never fully explored. All the Resident Evil 2 ones have been funny for that. I remember everyone going nuts about a door that you can find in Raccoon's police station and it's bolted from and no one knows what's through there. I knew back in 1998. It's where you see Sherry crawl on the door from the other side. That's exactly which door it is. I gotta say, this isn't a fast race, this is it? Even with like a fully suited up car, it's taking forever. No, Joe, I haven't. I imagine there was probably quite a few because the devs made it very much say 3D Worms. Good game. So which ones were not used then, out of curiosity? One of my favourite games for cut content that you could randomly access was Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. It had a load of racetracks that you weren't supposed to race on, but they gave you cheat codes to play them. And there was things like, you know, a scale electric set in a kid's bedroom and things like that. And to this day, I've never understood why EA did that. It's awesome, but it was just weird. But now that we're in front, we're dominating this race. As proven many times, half the challenge is in catching the rabbit, which is something that Gran Turismo 7 still has a problem with. It's a case of start the player at the back, and that's where all the fun comes from. Well, it's kind of not. It's kind of annoying. But look at those tyres. The front tyres have taken an absolute pounding on this course. Still, doesn't matter, because a win's a win. I cheated, and I don't care. Once we were in front, we were getting, like, as I say, 2 seconds a lap on them. I'm absolutely creaming it. But right now, we've done our first race. So what we're going to do is going to very quickly back out, just so I can save my game. Because the fact that it doesn't save there is really irritating. I have actually heard about a mod that you can download for this game. And I'm actually tempted at some point to do it as another stream series. Which is a randomizer mod. Basically, the prize cars are random. You have no idea what you're going to get. Get through driving mission 34 and win a Toyota Vitz in pink. Do the Sunday Cup, get the Toyota GT1 race car. It could be quite an entertaining stream just for the sheer chaos of it. But I don't want to do it on a game where I've already got a save, so I might actually experiment with it offline. And if there's demand for it, I'll do it. If I can get it working. Pretty much, Rosa, yeah, I suppose it could be considered that mode. But yeah, basically, Joe, you could enter a race where normally you're going to guarantee to get, like, that. Speaking of, take that Subaru 360 tournament, for example. That one race 360, complete it, get something random like the GT race car or something like that. This track is so, I can't catch up because there's not enough time. I'm going to have to resort to some cheating strategies for this one because the pace of the machines are just not possible. So we're going to have to bring out the old school strategies, as cheap as they are. Oh God, I didn't mean to do that. Bollocks to it. That wasn't actually that fast, surprisingly. I was off-road, so I thought I might as well see if it works. And the answer is no. No, it doesn't. See, they gain traction on the outside that's not possible to get. It's not possible to go full speed through that corner. It can't be done in a front-wheel drive car. It does not have the grip. It does not have the ability to turn that sharply. It's got too much understeer. You can't get through that corner like that. It's not possible. Still, that was clean as you like. That was a proper overtake. It is very, very warm actually, Rosalie. I've got my windows open and it's just not helping at the moment. Oh, so a lot of games from this era were terrible for rubber banding. I remember once playing Need for Speed Undercover. I was driving a Bugatti Veyron. I was at full speed, flat out, doing 250 plus miles an hour, and I got overtaken by a Mercedes SLR McLaren, which can't possibly go that fast. Absolutely nowhere near it. And it just felt really annoying. It's like, what's the point in playing the game if the challenge is that the computer's just allowed to impossibly catch you up? If you're fast, you're fast. If the computer's slow, the computer's slow. They shouldn't be just giving a random rocket boost for no reason. But then there were other games where the AI was ridiculously daft. I remember playing Need for Speed Pro Street, and there was a series of modes called the Kings, where you had to take on like the best in the game at a certain discipline. And there was one called the Speed King, which is basically you drive at maximum speed for as long as you can, and it's all about avoiding hazards. Well, I ended up like having to battle through someone driving a Lamborghini Murcielago, someone driving a Pagani Zonda, beat them, and then the final boss was this guy called Nate Denver in a Pontiac GTO that had a top speed of 140. I could have beat him in a stock 240SX, he was that slow. I was just like, what? Why? So there we go, we've done another race. We resorted to some not so clean tactics, but he got us in the lead. And thanks to that, we were able to come home first. So the question remains, which way do we go now? Answer, we go to the next race. Oh no. Oh God, no. We're at the driving park. Right, 1 second. I'm just going to save my game first. This is going to be a very, very irritating event. I don't know what you're referring to there, Dragon, with that Honkai Star Rail. I don't know what it is. Sounds like some kind of game or anime, but I don't know it. And thanks to the F in the chat there, Joe. I'm going to need it. Yeah, we are driving in the shoebox layout. This is going to be awful. There's no other word for it. Why they have races at this circuit, I don't know. It's a stupid idea. It's a ridiculous idea. Oh, what the f... Okay, fine, let me rear-end you then. That's fine, I'll rear-end you all... Actually, that makes me sound like I'm suggesting something else, and I'm not. Consent boundaries are a thing, people. Right. Okay, so if it's anything to do with Genshin Impact, I know very little about it, because I'm not a fan. Never was. I don't like gacha games. I played the gacha SMT game and deleted it because I was getting bored by it. It annoyed me so much about how much the game became such a grindy mess. If you wanted to get anywhere, it was all about buying things, and I refuse to do that. I refuse to play a game where I have to pay to win. I refuse it. God, this is such an annoying race. This is another one of those where the challenge is not the track itself. It's the fact that you get started so far back, and getting the time to catch up is really, really, really difficult. Oh, well, that helps. He's gone into the pits. Nice one. Thank you. You got bored of it yourself, did you, Rose? It's a shame. I love the characters in that game in SMT DX2. I thought the characters were awesome. The settings were cool. I love the idea of press turn battles on the go, but progress ground to an absolute halt. Yeah, Joe, I'd say standing starts are something that should be the norm. It's why I hate GT7. A modern day game, and they still don't have standing starts. It's ridiculous. Yet you sometimes start races 45 seconds behind the leader. That's just bullshit. That's not challenge, that's bullshit. That's like being dropped into a Resident Evil battle with no ammo and told get to it. So the only SMT game on Steam at the moment is SMT3 Nocturne, to my understanding, Rose. But I believe, if rumours are true, they're planning to port 4 and 4 Apocalypse, but there's been no announcement of it. It's why I'm playing 4 using Citra at the moment. And that's on Friday night, by the way, 8 PM BST, so do check that out, people. Cheap plug. Oh, I'm going to lap him, because he's going into the pits again. I've actually lapped someone. Even the AI don't know what to do on this course. As for Manhunt, Rose, I think you can acquire it on the Lost Media wiki, because it was found, the full uncut version. It was on Amazon of all places. In fact, I think you might still be able to buy it on downloadable from Amazon, and it's fine, and it's fully uncut as well, to my knowledge. I'm a bit concerned about my front right tyre. I don't know if it's going to last, but I've got no choice. I can't go into the pits. Oh, wow, someone's gone into the pits again. Yes, it's cheating to cut that chicane, but I need to. I need to preserve my tyre life. Because that right tyre is dying very quickly. Yeah, you say it's so warm you're falling to sleep, Rose. It also doesn't help that you're listening to my dulcet tones. I'm not exactly the most riveting voice in the world that's going to keep you awake. But we're gonna. He's gone into the pits again. He likes the pit lane. He's pitted in on the penultimate lap. I mean, at least his tyres will have been fresh, but look at this. We managed to win, but not really by skill as such. That was more a strange survival race in many ways. If you want setups for your cars, Joe, you can always try gtplanet.com. GT Planet is like the big Gran Turismo website. It's been there for years. And they have like threads for forums for each game. So if you go to GT4, you might find like a list of setups there. The only thing is, GT Planet, they're not exactly open to criticism on the games. When I've been on there and criticised the most recent one, I've been labelled a troll. But, get past that, and it's not bad. Right, now that we've got a standing start, we might have a better chance here, because we should be closer. We might not start right at the front, but we should be able to get nearer to the front earlier on. So, I mean, look at that. The grid start has made a massive difference. Look at that, I'm already at the front of the queue. That shows the difference between grid starts and rolling starts. Yeah, caramel coffee sounds quite nice, Rose. Bit hot for this weather, but it's still cool. And say I had my grapefruit Sailor Saturn drink, which was quite nice. Very refreshing. Always good to have cherry cola. Cherry cola is boss. We liked cherry cola on the stream. We drank many of them in the past. Although we normally drink Pepsi rather than Coke. Yes, we're edgelords. And if it's iced, then you're sorted on that one there for sure, Rose. As we're here, deep in the Peugeot cover, check it out. For some reason, the Get Ready to Drive has gone. I don't know why. I'm not complaining. I've not done anything to make it happen. It's just done it by itself. I've not changed any settings. I've not done anything. It's just gone. Dr. P is always good. Dr. P is great. I drank that by the gallon when I was in Canada. I had absolutely loads of it where I was staying. It was fantastic. I'm just trying to settle into a nice slow cruise here. It's better to cruise than not taking too much out of the tyres and not making any mistakes. That's what I'm aiming for. Unexpected update. Okay, I think I saw my Steam update for some reason, but I don't know what it's done. Unless it's added something. News to me because I've not played it, to be honest. I should do though, because I love that game. Oops, there we go, that's a mistake. We'll get away with it. New display language. Yeah, that's a riveting reason to update. At least they've added it. And so here we go. For the line. And victory! Nice. Oh yeah. Grid start made all the difference there. Catching up those gaps by being able to actually just catch them up straight away. Excellent. So we got one final race at the Côte d'Azur. Yes. We have to take on the might of Monte Carlo. Which is going to be irritating. Very irritating. But we'll survive. We'll manage it. Côte d'Azur. 3 laps of Monte Carlo, basically. So we've got 3 laps, and this is going to be hell. I'm expecting this to be awful. I'm expecting the computer to absolutely rinse me here. Right, to give you an idea of how much time I've got to catch up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-second handicap, basically. That's what I've just been given because of the way the race starts. Oh god, there was an endurance race here? Well, to be fair, we had it replaced by the 1,000 miles endurance race. When you think about it, that was even harder. Yes, 99 laps of Monte Carlo, and I did it live, people. Instead of 99 laps of Monte Carlo in the 1,000 miles championship was brutal. Still, they're not getting away as fast as I expected for now. So fingers crossed. Into Raskas. Yes, I did it. I overtook at Raskas. Named because of the Raskas Cafe, by the way, people, in case you didn't know. And to get a seat there during the Grand Prix, 20,000 euros probably. And then up the Beau Rivage into Massenet. Go too wide, but we'll get away with it. And then into Casino Square. What's normally a roundabout. And then we're in to Mirabeau. Or as Rosberg calls it, retirement corner. Qualifying rigged corner. Pole position corner even. Rose, you hear that Monaco might be leaving F1. That's because F1 forced them to change their schedules. Monaco used to have it where their practice sessions were on a Thursday. Friday was like a local market. And then Saturday, Sunday. But for this year and last year, F1 forced them to join with their actual essential circuit rules. Then, of course, there was the fact that they had their own camera crew. And they actually had at one point in one of the races track sponsorship by a watch company, Tag Heuer, despite F1 having sponsorship with Rolex. So Rolex never got the promotion they should have done, and Tag Heuer did. So they fell out massively with F1 over it, because F1 was saying you're not allowed to do it. And yes, it was rough. I got there in the end. You've seen my streams before, Joe. You should be used to it by now. Well, so far so good in this race, and that would be the championship as well if we do it. Chalked off live on stream, 2 of supposedly the hardest championships in this game. I guess that makes me a driving god. No, it doesn't. Not even close. The first corner, Sandoval, it's not just hell in F1, it's hell in any series that's raced here. The amount of accidents that corner's had is ridiculous. Sandoval is a very, very tough corner to get around, and it's like, I mean, Monaco's charm is that it's a street circuit, like the old school. You do have a lot of incidents here. There's just one problem with Monaco: you can't overtake on it. It's a circuit where if you get pole position, you're practically guaranteed to win. I remember, I think it was in 2013. Jenson Button driving from McLaren, having a torrid time in a horrible car, was nowhere near the pace, and at one point started saying the leaders were lapping ridiculously slowly, and it just slowed the race up. We couldn't get near anybody because no one can get close, and the leaders were taking it round really, really slow, back in the pack up. Well, here we are. Ah, yes, when Jag lost the diamonds that were running on the car. No. They had show diamonds that were put in the nose cone, and then when it came to the race, they were not on the car at all. I don't believe for a second that those diamonds were actually running the race. No way. Refuse to believe it. I believe that they were show diamonds taken off the nose cone and then sent to the group of a regular car. But speaking of cars... Oh, very nice. Another version of the Peugeot 205 rally car. So I've already got one, so I've got a second one now. Nice. Another Group B legend. So, let's see what races we can do in Citroën. Oh my god. Right, okay. We're doing it. We're doing it. I'm going to see if I've got one. What do you mean 10 mins left? What are you talking about? 10 mins left. What are you on about? Have I got any Citroëns? No, I don't. Right, so I've got to buy one. Okay, fine. Yep, we're doing it. We're going through the most hell tournament of all time. We're doing it. Yeah. Oh, we can't buy it. It's a prize car. I've not unlocked it. But you've been spared, people. You've been spared. I don't have the car. I don't have it. I don't have the 2CV. You've been spared. All of you have been spared. Nope, the stream doesn't end at 10. It usually ends at 11. Ah, so we've got a Corvette one. So I need a Corvette. Right, okay, well I've got a Vet, I believe. I'm sure I unlocked one. I'm absolutely certain I unlocked a Vet. I'll need to tune it up, but I'm pretty certain I've got a Vet. 57.2% completed now. Yep, here we go. Oh, I've only got a classic Vet. It's a classic. It's a 50s. But we're going to do it. We're going to take the 50s Vet out for a run, people. Not sure if I tune this up or not. So I'm just going to change the oil anyway. So I'm going to have to tune this baby up, but we're taking a classic Vet into the Vet tournament. You could say we're going to the Vets. Looks like I might have already tuned this baby up anyway. Yeah, I have. I've already raced and modified it. Oh, I could put a supercharger in, but I don't want to do that. Right, okay. The only thing I've probably not done is tyres. Yeah, right, let's change tyres. Well, I'm glad I got some reaction in the audience. I'm quite impressed by that one. Let's weight reduce it while we can as well. At some point when I... Yep, I have my oil changed. Yep, I decided to change my oil. Right, here we go. So we're into the Vet Challenge, and yep, our car is legal. Is it a championship? No, it's not, so we'll just do circuits at a time. Well, let's start with Seattle. 4 laps to Seattle. We are in a classic 50s Corvette, and we're going up against all the other Vets of our time. So this is going to be a difficult challenge, I reckon. Yeah, there's a mix of Vets. A few classics are in here, actually, but I've got the oldest car. Yeah, I've still only got a 5-point A-spec race, which is quite surprising. And, oh, boo. The roof's up. Come on. It's a classic Vet. Get the roof down. Getting a 57 Chevy and hit the open road. That's what it's all about. I love the fact that this car's a naturally aspirated V8 and it sounds like I've got a turbo in it. Oh wow, the grip I've got in this car. I have so much... What are you doing? Stop turning sideways and get off my car. Wow, this car has tons of grip. These racing tyres make all the difference. Look at this, look at that. I cornered that like a Formula 1 race car compared to them. They couldn't get anywhere near me. This feels fan-bleeding-tastic to drive. This is awesome. I might have found a magic car here. This drives like an absolute dream. I could have used this in that 1,000 miles tournament if I wanted to. This absolutely beautiful to drive. I'm loving this. A little bit of body roll at the front, okay, because there's a massive engine block up there, but it's just really, really fast and it just grips. For a 1950s car, this corner's like an absolute beast. Yep, I've been sleeping on this one. See, even there I was able to find grip in the middle of the corner. And I'm look how far behind they are on the map. I'm leaving them for dust. It's like you can get in the biggest mess possible and the car just sorts it out for you. It's the one car where I have the confidence to be power in the best Jeremy Clarkson approach because it just has the grip. I'm loving this. This is a true classic. I've found an absolute gem here in this car. I've just shaved 10 seconds off my previous lap time. 10 seconds. I don't know what more to say. This is fantastic. I'm having so much fun driving it. And these guys just don't have a hope. These guys can't get near me. Gran Turismo memes. GT40. Allow me to introduce myself. The GT40 at Rome. Why do I hear boss music? I've just shaved another 2.5 seconds off my time then. This is just phenomenal. I'm able to brake at points I shouldn't be able to brake for. It's great. The Drake and Josh memes are great. Someone made a Drake and Josh Persona meme because Chie in Persona 4 has a look very similar to Drake Bell from Drake and Josh. Someone did a thing where they get stuck in the TV. It's brilliant. It's not like 30 seconds long. You can find it if you just type in Drake and Josh Persona 4. It turns up on YouTube for that one, Rose. It's dead easy to find. Well, that was an absolute breeze. That was awesome. What a machine, the mighty Chevrolet Corvette convertible. C1 from the 1950s. Absolutely glorious. 350 brake horsepower, lightweight, racing tyres, beautiful. I don't know BK4 bros. I'll have to check them out. There are quite a few GT YouTubers out there. Some of them are funny, others are quite annoying. Because again, it's just like gaming in general, that isn't it? Some are great, some are not. Like, I'm sure people will watch my streams and go, "Who is this guy? Why is anyone watching this pillock?" And people would say, I'm sure people would say that to them as well. That's all part of being a broadcaster, shall we say. So now we're going to the Laguna Seca. Yeah, another 5.8 spec race. And look at this. I'm actually tailgating this Corvette Gran Sport really easily. And we got the classic Stingray. Oh wow, I was actually... The AI was looking to overtake the Gran Sport, but they couldn't do that. I haven't smashed anything from Game Rage, but I have thrown a controller on the floor when I was doing Persona 1, didn't I, Avian? You were listening and watching. Rose, why did you nearly have a cardiac? What caused that? I'm assuming that you don't mean literally, but at least I hope not, mate. Yeah, this car, I am finding it so much fun to drive. Ah, damn spider. Yeah, always annoying when that happens. For me, it's when flies get around. That's what really annoys me. Summer weather brings them out. But yeah, this is a fast car. Very easy to drive. And I'm able to brake ridiculously late. So it's got loads of grip, loads of stopping power, and loads of acceleration. It doesn't drive like any 50s muscle car I've ever drove before. It's fantastic. See, I was able to brake at marker point 1 then. That's insane. You shouldn't be able to do that. It's like then I was able to brake between the marker boards for the corkscrew. That's just... It's turning the corkscrew into a nothing corner. That's just beastly. Yeah, nothing worse than flies that you can't get rid of, whether it's by whacking them on or sending them out via the window. It's really irritating. I'm amazed at just how good this car is. It feels like an absolute dream to drive. It's the kind of car that invites you to get behind the wheel and to work at it. Mosquitoes I've not had the mispleasure of seeing so far, but I do know that they're nasty. When I was in China, we saw some hornets which were absolutely colossal. They were scary as anything. So we've managed to escape them for now, so fingers crossed they'll stay away. Our weather's been too shit for anything like that so far. It's only recently we suddenly started getting tropical weather, which is annoying because again most of us are either back at work or just it's crazy. And there we go. Well, that was disappointing. They had no chance in that one. We obliterated them so much quicker. So that's the Chevrolet Corvette second race done. We've got another 3 to go. And after that, we'll start winding down, I think, because it's nice and warm. Which means I don't want to stream too much longer because I don't want to pass out. Don't worry, I'm not in danger of that at the moment. But as you can see, my water reserves are quite low, so I can't go on as long as usual tonight. Just going to quickly save my game. And then back to Chevy. And we've got 3 more races here, so let's see how we go. You wish spiders paid rent because they get rid of pests. As long as you don't become like the Resident Evil spiders and start taking over your house with ridiculous sized webbings and poison moves. Yes, the good old days. Honestly, I'm really loving this Chevy. It's a good car. It's a great car. It's the kind of car you can use for a lot of the challenge runs. Like, it might be good enough to take on the Grand Valley endurance race at some point. Put some racing super hards on it, see how it handles. Right, so here we go. Now look at the state of that. Oh god, no avian. Definitely not a Devil May Cry spider. Oh my god, no. No. We're not having that thing back on my stream. It's not happening. No, I said that's what streams are here for, man. Say it's all about having fun and take things like this. How you get on with things, that's fantastic. You take it nice and smooth. Right. So a little bit of an oasis away from the usual grind on my streams. I do all the grinding for you. Speaking of grinding, by the way, I've decided to go back and try and get some more levels on Wild Arms 2 in my exploit. I'm not finding it as easy now because the method I was using I'd mastered the character's levels before, but it doesn't matter because I have also got a few new things I need to show off on the next stream for Wild Arms 2. Yes, take in all these logos, people. I think I've actually spotted one there, I believe, which I didn't call out previously. When I come out of the hairpin for the next time, look on the left and tell me if I'm going mad or if you see the logo for MTV. Hey, Dr. Fast Dante cosplay. I'm not sure what you're getting at with that, but it sounds kind of cool, to be honest. I mean, I've technically cosplayed Dante. I did it when I did the 24-hour Crisis course stream. I turned one of my steampunk jackets into kind of like a closet Dante cosplay. It kind of worked, actually. It wasn't bad. A Max Verstappen ad? Well, how did they manage that then? Because they wouldn't have been born. Or they've only just been born at this time. Must be a mod. Yeah, okay, keep your eyes on the left here, people. Right there. Look on the left-hand side. Can you see the MTV logo? Because I can't. I see an MTV logo. Oh, nice. Male Ruby Rose cosplay. That's really cool. That's awesome, that one. Go for it, Rose. That'll be nice. After all, I've done my male Alice from SMT, so... See, this game never stops giving. You're finding strange little Easter eggs in the background. And there's the Empire State Building as well. It's not very well rendered, but I'm literally driving towards the Empire State Building. Oh, Rose, if you say that, you're going to have to die for me, I'm afraid. I would comment on that, Joe, but I know nothing about Dragon Ball Z. I'm the only person on the planet who's got an interest in anime who hasn't watched Dragon Ball Z. I've also watched very, very little of One Piece. When it comes to like the big animes, I don't know them. I know all the obscure ones. But it's Alice. Alice asks everyone to die for her, remember? You know, shit-dick-a-doo. That green guy might have seen a meme clip, possibly. May have seen a meme clip, possibly, of that, Joe, actually. That kind of... The green guy rings a bell. I don't know why, but it does. In fact, the only thing I know about Dragon Ball Z is the meme of it's over 9,000. That's the only thing I know of. Which, ironically, my stream is technically over 9,000. Because I'm streaming at a bitrate of 10,000. So technically, I suppose my streams themselves are a Dragon Ball Z reference. So here we go. We're going to complete the lap and finish this race. Yeah, green guy, kind of a white cape. I do think I know who... I can picture a character like that in my head, Joe. But in terms of what their relevance to the story is and how it works, I couldn't tell you. Simple as that, I don't have a clue. So there's one cosplay I really want to do, but it's going to be impossible because I was like, the design is so weird. There's a new Love Live series called Genjitsu no Yohane. And my favourite character from Love Live, Chika Takami, is in it. And she has this like superhero steampunk outfit where she wears a mask and everything else and carries a huge steampunk rifle. But it is one of the most annoying designs I've ever seen for a costume, so I don't think it's one I'll ever be able to do, which is a shame. Yeah, show me in picture anytime. I'm sure I'll probably recognise if you send me a picture, to be honest, Joe. As I say, I've seen a few memes of that show, and I do vaguely recall a green character with a white robe of some kind. Oh, Metal Gear Rising Raiden. I know that character, yeah. That would require a lot of prosthetics and props. So there's an SMT cosplay I'd love to do, but there's one particular prop that makes it annoying. But it might be something I can do if I can find someone to make them for me. I want to do Halal, aka Lucifer, the six-winged one. Blade Wolf as an RC companion would be insane. It requires so much precision control, but it'd be brilliant. What according to Goku is a Yoshi? What, is it like Yoshi from Mario, or is there something else that I'm not getting context-wise there, Avian? Wow, this car really does go burr. This is ridiculous. I'm amazed at how good this car is to drive. Ah, from DBZ abridged, right, yeah, of course. I've seen the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged one, which made me laugh my head off. Finally, it's good to be home. In Canada. Oh, I wasn't paying attention to the track then, and I paid the price by going into the dirt. No matter, that was my fault. Got away with it. I'm not sure about V from DMC, but I've seen your Cyberpunk cosplay. It's a good laugh. It's really well done, actually. It's really good. Even though I never played that game, I've seen all the memes of the way it was broken when it first came out, but obviously games get fixed, so fingers crossed it's going on. Oh, we've gone wide. Ah, nice, Rosie. Yeah, I remember that. That was when I can't. Who was I cosplaying that day? I think I remember running into you. Well, I can't remember who I was cosplaying that day. Ironically, it might have been Alice now I think about it. I might have been cosplaying as Alice. I still remember at SunnyCon when someone was in the queue and they just like were there walking up. Is that an Alice cosplay? Shocked that someone had done it. Because doing the demons and the personas isn't very common. Happens, but not very common. One of my friends is hoping to do Carmen at some point. Arn's persona from Persona 5. If they manage to make that outfit work, I want to see how, because it'll be amazing. Yeah, Joe, SunnyCon's one of the most welcoming cons in the world. It's amazing. Really friendly. Everyone's really nice. You very rarely have anyone be idiots. I only know of one individual who was a bit of an arsehole. Very few people have that problem though. Most are really nice. I think you get that at every con, to be fair, Rose. You always get people who are a bit quieter, and you know, it's just the nature of the beast. I never saw Krauser, which is really annoying because I did Leon from RE4 Remake on the Friday. Well, I didn't see him. Really irritating. I think we've only got one more race after this, I think. Ah, it's El Capitan. Nice. Yeah, no one can resist using the memes, can they? In cons, it's crazy. Oh, yes. Now that's what I call a start. Yeah. This is going to be fun in this car. I can feel it already. So I've never used VR chat because I've not got VR headset and VR gives me headaches, but awesome you look out for someone like that, Rose. I remember the days of RPing on message boards. Now I feel very, very old. So far, this has been eating the corners on this course. Oh yeah, we're gonna go for some fast laps here. Yeah, they don't have a hope. They're not gonna come close to me. What about RPing on message boards? That was all really weird stuff, like you know, everything from like fantasy realms to like stupid anime style fights, you know, kind of thing. You know, we were just like it was just daft stuff like I don't even know why. It was the case of we had too much free time spent doing nothing. You know, it's the old theme really. I don't know what happened with the logs. It's probably for the best if they've been deleted, to be honest. But we had a lot of fun, and that's all that matters, really. Having fun. Yeah, it was basically shit posting before shit posting became a thing, really. I remember at one point where we had like one of these like big group battles, and everyone had to like, do the next turn. And so people were doing stupid stuff like brings a tow truck in to steal your car, and then I did one saying issue someone with a black credit card that's got a $4 million credit limit and 7,000% per annum interest. And then also like someone's 20-year-old bimbo who maxes it out in 20 seconds, and it just got stupid. It was just like that. We got everyone like how you react to these kind of things. It was just being stupid, really. It was daft. There's nothing wrong with RPing. Nothing wrong with it at all. It's just something I've kind of not been done for years because I had no reason to. Although I must say, at some point I would love to learn to be a dungeon master in Dungeons and Dragons. I can imagine me sat there going, "Well, you have dared to venture into the catacombs, knave. And you believe that you're going to be able to survive the traps and riddles that lie ahead of you. Well, the D20 die holds the fate by your hands. You stand in a narrow corridor." You know, I could imagine me doing all that and getting a bit like Nightmare kind of style. Well, I would have to learn how to do all the rules of it and how you do all the rolls and everything else. There used to be a text-based RPG back in about, 1999, I think, called Avalon, and it was a Java RPG where you basically like were given a class, you just randomly walk into towns and try and interact with people. It was basically Warcraft before Warcraft was a thing. What's hilarious is it actually had a paid subscription model. You could pay $15 a year for a text-based RPG. When you think about it, it's like, hang on, what? Why? Why am I paying for this? But then you get people nowadays who spend like 80 quid on credits for cars in Gran Turismo 7, so things haven't changed. Ah, you remember it? Wow, I'm not the only one who's that much of a dinosaur. You ended up having, I think the end game was to try and find the 15 master crystals to transcend reality or something. By the time that really became a thing, the website was dying, and then all involvement faded. Forums on the likes of Gaia Online and Game FAQs were being closed all the time due to trolling, and the game just died a death. Shame, really. Oh, I'm definitely a dinosaur when it comes to the internet. I was on the internet in 1995. Yeah, that's right. When it wasn't even fully public. 56k modem. I was one of the first ever users of GameFAQs.com. Nice spin drift. It's kind of cool that you've got the full edition of Mortal Kombat 11, Rose, but if the perk of paying that much is that you get to play it 5 days early, then that's really scummy, actually. I think that's scummy from the producers. It's preying on your fear of missing out. And Avian, were you there that early? Wow. It was amazing how little it was. If you use the Wayback Machine, that website, Internet Archive, try and find captures of sites from that era. It's hilarious. It's amazing how primitive the internet looked back then. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you get the add-ons as well, but technically that's content that's been taken out and sold to you at a higher price, and that's a problem with a lot of modern gaming, where a complete package without any extra stuff doesn't exist anymore, and it's a shame. Go back to the Dreamcast era, you didn't have that problem. PS2 era, you didn't have that problem either. Oh, wow! A classic Corvette race car! That is so cool. That's amazing. Oh, finding fanfiction, me too. That was what made me write it. There's still a few fanfictions of mine you can find online, actually. If you know the handle to search for, because it's not my actual name that I use here. Let's take a look at it. Again, I want to take a proper look at it. Holy, it's got a load of power as well. Wow. I want to take it for a spin. But first of all, change the oil. I found the dark side of anime on VHS, Rose. When I saw an anime known commonly as the Legend of the Overfiend, Rutskidoji. The back of the VHS cassette talked about 3 worlds that have been at war for over 1,000 years, and it sounded like this big sci-fi thing. And the first thing I see when I put it into my VHS player is a demon with 4 breasts being taken from behind so hard that they split in half. Oh yeah. I discovered the world of tentacle porn. I have never recovered or come back. The fact that this car comes with super hard tyres should tell you everything about how crazy this car is. Out of curiosity, can I take it into any of these ones? That's standard or sports, you can't use that. Ninja Scroll was a great anime. Wicked City was a great anime. They were awesome. I loved them. They were fantastic. What's our percentage, by the way? We are at 58%. Oh, yeah. Right, let's take this for a lap on the circuit. I want to see how fast it goes. We'll take it to the usual test grounds of Mazda's Laguna Seca. We'll take it for a spin. And that will be a nice way for us to wrap the stream up, I think. So let's give it a try. Oh, wow, that is heavy underbraking. It brakes like an absolute tank. No, they didn't, Avian. You're not wrong. The TV Kids Animate did not spot that one. God, Jackie Chan Adventures. That takes me back. Well, the super hard tyres definitely affect its grip level. I'll give it that much. It doesn't quite have the grip level of the other cars. It's understeery as anything. Let's see how it drives. Here you are. We'll put it in outside mode for a laugh. So it is a bit understeery, but it's still okay to drive. I'd have to learn it. It's a car you have to learn. You no mess with Uncle. Yes, absolutely true. Well, to be fair, that's pretty decent. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, Laguna Seca's been in quite a lot of racing games. It's quite a common circuit, to be honest. And there's a reason for it. It adapts for... It's quite easy to license, and it adapts for a lot of different ones. So it's good. It's very good. Cars list is updated, but I don't believe we have any of the cars we want yet. We don't have any of the special cars. So, thus far tonight, we've hit 58% completion. I've somehow gained a slot, I don't know. So we're at 58% completion, and I think that, because it's been a bit warm over here, that's where we're going to end for tonight. But the next time we pick this game up, I'm hopefully going to take on one of the endurance challenges, because I've not done one for a while. So, we might be seeing a poll going up in the community chat to decide a circuit to do on the future streams. But on Friday evening, we will be back with Shin Megami Tensei 4. We'll be going back into the world of Tokyo to try and take on the demons and get closer to the mysterious world that we have beneath our feet. And then on Monday, of course, we'll pick back up with Wild Arms 2, and who knows, we may get close to the end game with that one and be looking to see it through. Until then, thank you all very, very much for watching. A 1954 C1 Go Brr, I guess.